Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Work until you die? Well, we're definitely not doing that. And that is why I've created Life of Dividends.
And this is our dividend portfolio update for trading week ending April 4th, 2025. And the markets went down, down, down. That's as deep as I could go. Anyway, what I'd like to talk about is one of the greatest psychological manipulated tricks that society has ever played. And that is the fact of suggesting that a person or people not talk about religion or politics. Now, let's ask ourselves the question, just how in the heck are we supposed to ever understand religion or politics if we never talk about it? Yeah, doesn't quite make any sense, does it? So I'm going to be that voice that champions, yes, you should talk about politics, and yes, you should talk about religion for a better, greater understanding of all. Now, when it comes to politics, you should be able to talk about the entire scope of everything that impacts or affects finances. And yes, that includes politics. As we've seen with this past week, it's had a great impact on the financial markets. So now let's jump in to the moves that we made in our portfolio this past week. Okay, so with everything that happened this past week, with the markets, you see here we ended the week ending March 28th, 2025 with a ending balance of $10,598.45 compared to the week ending April 4th, 2025, where we now have a balance of $9,084.32 due to the decline of the markets overall from the what is the greatest indicator being the implementation of the tariffs by the current president of the United States. And so our portfolio balance is down this week. All right, so week over week, as you see with the previous week of March 28, 2025, we had positions in PLTY, Coney, ULTY, and Tesla, as opposed to this past week being April 4th, 2025. We actually reopened our position in MISTY or MSTY with 5 shares. We kept our position in PLTY still at 100 shares, and we have actually increased our position in Coney from 1,000 shares to 1,142 shares and collected a nice dividend with that. And with Ulti, we increased our position from 100 shares in the previous week to 202 shares this past week. And the same with Tesla or TSLY. We had 100 shares in the previous week, and this past week we ended with 204 shares. Now let's look at our current margin and the buying power, as well as the limits that we have set. As you can see, our current total margin is $22,946.49. Of that, we have used $6,443.39, and we still have remaining to be used $16,503.10 of buying power. Now, as y'all all know, I am experimenting with the buying power maximum limit of just 30%, and I'm currently using 28.1% of that 30%, with a remaining amount of 1.9% to use, or $440.55. Now, because the market is down, and we, what's being talked about is it continually to be down. taking advantage of buying the dips as best you can with what you can, and that is my game plan. I am buying the dips, and one of the things with using or limiting my margin to just 30% maximum use, in the last 2 weeks I've had 0 margin warnings and 0 margin calls. So it appears to be working out well, even though we have experienced the decrease in the market. Again, no margin warnings, no margin calls. And as you can see here, you see the buffer that I have, approximately $4,100. We are at a low risk still, and we hope to continue to see that and manage that the way it has been, without warnings or margin calls. With the dividends that were paid out this past week, as you can see here with Coney and Alti, with the Coney, I did increase my number of shares from just 1,000 to 1,142 shares, as Coney declared a dividend of 0.4381 cents a share, giving me a nice dividend payout of $500.31. And with Alti, we also increased our number of shares from 100 to 200, with the dividend that was declared of 0.0916 cents per share. We had a dividend income of $18.36. And with this being the new month of April, we currently have a total dividend payout for April 2025 being $518.67. And with a grand total of dividend payouts for all of 2025 thus far, from January 1st to the end of trading week, April 4th, 2025, we've had a total dividend payouts equaling $4,613.57 thus far, just for putting our money to work. All right, folks, that's it for Life of Dividends for trading week ending April 4th, 2025. We looking forward to next week so that we can get ready for the weekend and making our video to show you the moves that we've made for the upcoming trading week. Everyone have a blessed, happy weekend, and we will talk to you soon.